What's up, party people? It's your boy Chaz here, and I am back with my signature American Idol commentary known as All Types of Idol. Now, a lot of people have been wondering, where the hell have I been? You know, American Idol started back in January, but, you know, I had a new job, I got more hours, I've been working non-stop, making that money. So, you know, I had to take a break for a little bit, you know. As much as I wanted to comment on this season, I figured I'm going to hold off until the top 13 when it really counts. But for those of you who are wondering how I feel about the season so far, I'm really liking it, you know. I thought I would hate it without Simon, but Steven Tyler is renewing my faith. I really loved his banter in the auditions and Hollywood round. And it seems like everyone's nicer. The talent, I thought, is amazing. There's a lot of talented people. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, really, compared to last year, the talent has grown just so much. It was hard for me. I have like 5 or 6 people that are like my favorites right now. But I will say this. I am mad that Kendra Chantel is not in that top 13. Girl can sing, and she got robbed big time, I thought. But other than that, I think the top 13 is very, very, very stacked. And there's only like probably one person who I don't really care for in the top 13. Make that 2. So what's different about the top 13 this year is they get to work with big name producers that are already creating hits for people currently on the charts. And this is something that I've been wanting Idol to really do, because they said, well, we need someone current, fresh, and all that stuff, but when they release their album, it's very dated. So maybe this would, you know, working with the current producers will actually help them. And it did help for some people. So the top 13 basically sang songs from their favorite artists. And first up was Mrs. Alaina, auditioned when she was 15, now she's 16. She decided to pick Shania Twain's Any Man of Mine. And I have to say, this girl has a naturally strong voice. And by natural, I mean it comes with ease. There's no affectations on her voice. It just comes out of her like it's nothing, like it's effortless. Having said that, I think the song choice is meh. Of course, this is the song of death. It basically took out Siobhan Magnus, which was my favorite last year, and took out Mandisa, one of my favorites in season 5. Having said that, Alaina is not really one of my favorites, but she's definitely a strong contender in my eye, and I do not think the song is going to wipe her out. I think she's going to break the curse. But she didn't bring anything to it, plus I know she's a stronger singer than that song portrayed. Next up is Mr. Casey Abrams, and he sang With a Little Help from My Friends by Joe Cocker, and he's definitely one of my favorites this coming season because of the fact that he sings so softly and then gets in that growl. It kind of a little bit reminds me of Jack Black, but Jack Black is a personal guilty pleasure of mine. He really sang that song. You really felt it. And, you know, I didn't care if he sang out of tune. That was very heartfelt, and I was excited. That was a good opener to the show compared to Alaina, I thought. There is an issue, though, where I don't think that he's a current artist. I mean, I love what he does, you know. I love that he doesn't take himself so seriously, but has a great voice and has a great time, you know, basically showing off his musical skills. But there's something about it that seems a little dated, and I don't think it's going to relate to the radio-wise. So I'm wondering how Casey's going to be showing that he's relevant to the current music market. Still love him, though. Still love him. Next up was Ashton Jones, and she sang a little bit of Diana Ross, When You Tell Me That You Love Me. And here's the thing about Ashton. I was excited to have her in the top 13 because of the fact that Idol has been long due to have an R&B girl that sings current songs. The problem with Ashton is the song choices that she's displaying her voice in, because they're not current enough to me. Even though they try to current this song up, this song is a terrible song to begin with. I didn't even like it when it was sung in season 4. I just don't like this song. There could have been so many Diana Ross's songs to choose from. Upside Down, Do You Know Where You're Going To? But she picks this song. No. I love her confidence though. I really love her confidence. I really just want her to show off the current side of her voice, because I actually loved her when she sang Monica. I loved her when she sang Blue Cantrell. So I really want her to keep the current vibe with her. But if she can work that out, I think she'll go far. But if she keeps picking songs like this, she's going to definitely have an early exit, in my opinion. Next up was Mr. Paul McDonald, and he decided to sing a Ryan Adams song, Come Pick Me Up. And I thought, is this dude drunk? The way he's just stumbling across the stage and performing, and with the smiling, dude got blindingly white teeth. What's your secret, Paul? What's your secret? But here's the thing. I really do like this dude's voice. I think the song, I don't like the song on his voice for some reason. You know, it made him sound like James Blunt. And I like the rasp in his voice, but when it sounds kind of like Blunt, it kind of like nails on chalkboard to me. However, I just love watching Paul McDonald, because as crazy as he looks on stage, it basically draws you in. It's entertaining. So he can work a stage, I think. And that's one of the things that Paul needs to play to, is his quirkiness. And it doesn't matter what he's singing, as long as he's just stumbling around the stage, I'll be watching. Next up was Miss Pia Toscano, and she is a lovely lady. But why on earth would you pick the overdone song All By Myself? And here's the one thing that irks me. All By Myself is an Eric Carmen song, but it's so associated with Celine Dion, I think people forget that she wasn't the original singer. But I will give Pia Toscano this. She can sing. Those high notes were impressive. Very impressive. I would still think LaToya London did the song better, but Pia easily took the second best rendition here on Idol. Everything else was like a train wreck after that. But I think that she sang the song well. Albeit, I wish I got a little bit more flavor and emotion out of her, but she definitely sung her butt off. My only other issue with Pia was that dress, because did you see that Superwoman cape that was draped behind her and that super short dress? I'm sorry, it looked like she was going to a wedding in Vegas last minute. Next up was James Durbin, and he decided to sing Maybe I'm Amazed, one of my favorite songs of all time. And to my surprise, he actually sang this week. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really love his rock affectations, especially when he sang Judas Priest last week. But this was a nice change to hear him singing the melody and just letting his voice soar. And I think this is what he needed to do. I think it was an excellent song choice. I'll bet his tone is a little bit thin at times, but I definitely think that this is one of my favorite James performances as well. Next up was Haley Reinhart, and she decided to sing Little Blue by LeAnn Rimes. Stab My Eyes Now. Oh, I hate this song with a passion. And that yodel that she did not help. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Haley. She needs to be wild on that stage with the growling and the breaks in her voice. When she does this soft kind of stuff, I felt like I lost a bit of what I liked in her in that performance. I mean, she sang it okay. It's just I felt that the vibe was not Haley at all. Next up was one of my early favorites, Jacob Lusk. This dude can sing. And when I heard that he was singing R. Kelly, I was like, oh no, please don't let it be I Believe I Can Fly. There are so many better songs that R. Kelly has. Please do not pick I Believe I Can Fly. And then when I heard I Believe I Can Fly, I shook my head, because even Jacob Lusk could not erase the cheesiness and corniness of that song to me. I mean, in essence, it kind of vibes with what he does, the gospel tinge in his voice and the runs. But I really thought that this was a mess and a half. I think it started out okay. The middle, it got kind of pitchy, and it took a long time for him to recover and pull down to the right key. and he ended it amazing, but still, I hated the song choice. No matter what you do to that song, it's still gonna end up kind of cheesy. Ugh. Next up was Thia Megia, and I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of hers. I think that she sings too affected. Although last week she proved me wrong, I really liked her voice last week. This week she decided to sing Smile. And that first half, when she started to sing, I thought, okay, I'm gonna go fall asleep. Because this is starting to tire me, you know? Even though she has a nice voice, it just felt a little lullaby to me. Then they jazzed it up with some kind of jazzy arrangement. I'm like, what the hell? I thought the song couldn't sound any worse as it gone on. But as it went on, that arrangement was horrible. Very horrible. And I mean, I hate... And there's just little affectations of Thia's voice where I don't feel it's real. That's one thing that I would love Thia to do, is really understand the soul and the meaning behind some songs, because she comes off very pageanty, very robotic. And I feel that she needs to get rid of all the layers and just show the real her. Next up was Stefano Langone, and I thought that he was not going to make that top 13 until he sang his butt off on Wildcard and showed how good of a vocalist he is, because he was horrible when he sang Bruno Mars. But he sang the Stevie Wonder classic lately. I don't know about the arrangement. I kind of dig it because it had that kind of like neo feel to it with the Closer mixed in with the original version of the song. I wanted to put on a headband and start working out. No doubt Stefano could sing. However, I felt like in this song, it sounded very nasal to me. And I think when he opens up and just lets the voice out, that's magic right there. But I felt like it's all trapped in his nose and he's just singing all staccato, and just his vocal styles just didn't work for me with the arrangement of this song, in my opinion. Even though I kind of like the arrangement, I wish that Stefano picked another song. Next up is Karen Rodriguez, and she decided to sing some Selena, and she sang If I Can Fall in Love. Now, I don't know about you, but when I saw her come out on stage, I'm like, okay, she's trying to kiss up to J-Lo. She's wearing something that J-Lo would wear on stage, has the hair styled like J-Lo. I'm like, really? And it hurts me because I think she has a good voice, and she is basically the token MySpace audition that made the top 13. That's why I think part of the reason why she's in the top 13 is because she auditioned through MySpace. Having said that, the song was very karaoke. She really didn't show off her voice until the very end, but it was just very blah, kind of like under the note. It did not impress me at all. I think she's in trouble because I didn't think it was that great. She didn't bring anything new to the song, vocally. Next up is Baby Lock Them Doors and Turn the Lights Down Low. Mr. Scotty McCreery, and he decided to sing a little bit of Garth Brooks' The River. I gotta tell you, I love this. You know, I'm not a big fan of country, but I do like some country songs, and this is one of the country songs that I actually kind of like. I really like Scotty's voice. Now, I won't be buying his albums because I'm not a big fan of the country songs, but he sang it well enough to me to understand that this is who he is, and I'm playing to my strengths. He's definitely one of the best of the night to me, and I think he's going to go very far. Now, in the upcoming themes, I hope he realizes that he does not stretch his range far out from what he can do. Last up was Naima Adedapo, and she sings Rihanna's Umbrella. And I was hoping that she'd do a current song, because the last two songs that she's been doing are very dated, very old-fashioned. So I was hoping that she did something current, and she did. I'll have to say that it's a good song choice for her. I think with all the moving around, she did lose her breath. But put this in the studio track, I think this is going to sound amazing. I particularly think that when she brought her reggae style to it, I was like, what? Boom! Fire! I want that. I've been wanting somebody to really bring the island flavor to American Idol in the top 13. I'm glad that Naima is doing it. I want to hear more of that now that I know she can do that. This shows me that she's the most current person out of everybody in the top 13. So there you have it. That is my top 13 commentaries. My throat is killing me and I can't really talk that much. But I'll leave my rankings right there in the description box to save my voice a little bit, because I miss singing here on my channel, guys, but you know, I gotta protect my voice, I guess. So until next time, love, peace, and chicken grease.